Well, good afternoon. Thank you all so much for being here today. I appreciate you coming out on a beautiful fall afternoon to be with us. Thank you. And I want to also thank the various law enforcement agencies who are represented behind me as well for being here. And I want to recognize a few of those folks here in just a moment. So first off, Wise County Sheriff Ronnie Oakes and Wise County Assistant Sheriff Grant Kilgore. We're joined by First Sergeant Jack Baldridge with the Virginia State Police, by Norton City Police Chief James Lane, by Town of Appalachia Lieutenant Justin Schaffner. Behind me we have representatives from the Town of Appalachia. There's Town Manager Fred Lunsford and Town Mayor Teddy Collins. Also have individuals from the Town of Big Stone, including Town of Big Stone Gap Police Chief Steve Ham and Town of Big Stone Gap Manager Stephen Lawson. And we also have in the crowd with us Councilman Travis Anderson. So thank you all again for being with us. In just a few moments you'll have a chance to hear from some of the representatives from the law enforcement agencies and from the towns. We have a couple other individuals coming through the door hopefully any minute now, including folks from my office, which that could be them, and from the sheriff's office, and when they get here we'll make sure to recognize them. Nope, not yet. In just a few moments you'll hear some brief remarks from other folks about efforts being done to eliminate and eradicate the substance abuse addiction issues throughout Southwest Virginia, in particular in this region. But the reason why we're gathered here today is to talk about an operation that's ongoing right now in Appalachia and Big Stone Gap and throughout Wise County. We gathered today in Appalachia at the Town Hall at this beautiful conference room on a beautiful fall day, a day in which officers are spread out throughout our community, working hard in the field to try to make our community safer. The purpose of this conference is to detail the successful operation and the results of a drug-related mass arrest that we're calling Operation Appalachian Action. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, but I think it's indicative of what we're trying to do here and what's been done for quite some time. That's action on behalf of not only the town of Appalachia, but our entire Appalachian region. This morning, officers from several law enforcement agencies, the Wise County Sheriff's Office leading the group, combined forces with the Sheriff's Department to conduct a mass arrest of individuals who've been recently indicted in cases presented to the Wise County multi-jurisdictional grand jury sitting in Wise by my office. Officers are in the field right now. They are out across our region in Big Stone Gap and Appalachia making arrests and bringing these drug offenders to justice. We take just a moment and pray for their safety and also honor their dedicated teamwork and their hard work in making sure our community remains safe. For the past 15 months, officers have been working hard in this community to infiltrate various criminal networks and disrupt the flow of dangerous drugs to our streets. 15 months. For 15 months, officers have worked hard with unwavering resolve through tireless efforts. Now, 15 months is a long time, but it takes a long time to make the kind of impact that we're making today. We're in Appalachia, and that's why we chose the name Operation Appalachian Action, because the entire Appalachian region has been hit hard by, for many, many years, by illegal distribution of substances, addiction, illegal drugs, narcotics, substance abuse, and we want to stop that. Since taking office, I have worked very hard working with these fine men and women of law enforcement and our community leaders, working closely to address our region's substance abuse crisis and aggressively prosecuting cases in court that involve the illegal flow and sale of narcotics. Chief Deputy Commonwealth Attorney Stephen Davis is with us. He's our chief drug prosecutor, and he does an outstanding job in court He's gotten lengthy prison sentences for those who sell and manufacture illegal drugs. And our efforts are ongoing. In the past 3 years and beforehand, law enforcement has had great success in an effort to target individuals who profit from selling illegal drugs, from the illegal drug trade of prescription drugs and dangerous synthetic drugs and other illicit substances. Yet we know that we have more work to do, because as the number of prescription drugs being illegally sold has decreased, unfortunately we've seen an increase in the number of other types of drugs, in cases specifically involving the drug methamphetamine. Meth is dangerous, it's a poison, it is highly dangerous, highly addictive, and incredibly volatile. It impacts can be felt directly here in the town of Appalachia and throughout our region, really. Now, the town of Appalachia, where we stand, is in the center of the Appalachian mountain range. It's appropriately termed. At one time, this was a booming coal town and the center of a booming coal mining industry. It's a wonderful community. It is rich in history, a proud people, good people, dedicated to their town and to their county. And I have so many personal great memories spending many nights and days in my childhood here. I know we all do in this town. That's why it's heartbreaking to see the impact that these illegal substances have had on not just this community, but across our region. Recent newspaper reports have suggested that the citizens of this charming place have become frustrated, and rightfully so, because the meth epidemic has taken root here. It's a drug that's very, very dangerous, very difficult to stop once it takes a foothold, and it's very difficult for law enforcement to infiltrate. And this region is a place that's very difficult for law enforcement to infiltrate. So it's a perfect storm. Thus, 15 months ago, we took action. It was over 15 months ago that the Wise County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Oakes, Assistant Sheriff Kilgore, and their team began an intense operation targeting illegal drug activity, in particular meth cases, in Appalachia and Big Stone Gap and the surrounding areas. These amazing officers, with the help of the Southwest Virginia Drug Task Force and the member agencies that are supported here today, worked tirelessly and diligently. Those are two words that I'll use often today. Their efforts are tireless and diligent because that's what it takes. It takes constant action to disrupt this kind of behavior. But up to today, their efforts have been largely unseen and unrecognized, again, up until today. These complicated drug conspiracies, these crimes, take hundreds of hours of time to investigate, to develop, and then to successfully prosecute. It takes the efforts of numerous individuals and literally hundreds of hours per case. Today, their action, their dedication, their tireless efforts has paid off. And it will come to full fruition, and hopefully the public will be able to see an immediate impact from these arrests. I want to especially thank, before I go much further, the folks from the Southwest Virginia Drug Task Force and its member agencies. The task force is made up of numerous organizations, law enforcement agencies across the county, some of which are represented today, including the Wise County Sheriff's Office, the Lee County Sheriff's Office, the Scott County Sheriff's Office, and Dickinson County Sheriff's Office, the Norton City Police Department, the Big Stone Gap Police Department, and the Virginia State Police. We owe a lot to these brave officers. They are unsung heroes who work tirelessly behind closed doors in dangerous environments. They're warriors on the front lines in a battle to stop these drugs from poisoning our community and killing our kids. Today, their hard work has paid off. Their countless hours over the course of the past 15 months to eradicate drug crime in this region and one of the most difficult places to infiltrate. To say it's difficult is an understatement, is paying off. The focus of this action has been to provide hope for the citizens of Appalachia and Big Stone Gap and Wise County as a whole. To say help is on the way. And to ensure justice for drug offenders. To lock up those who are poisoning our community and profiting by it. And to fight for the safety and security of this wonderful community by taking illegal, dangerous drugs off the streets. Now, let's talk specifics today. This operation is a drug-related mass arrest. Not uncommon in our time to do these, but this one's a little bit different. This is an effort of a lot of the agencies that you see behind me, the task force, the Appalachia PD, the Big Stone Gap Police Department, Norton Police Department, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Lee County Sheriff's Department, Wise County Sheriff's Department, and Virginia State Police. There are 30 individuals who are wanted for arrest. We'll release their names and their alleged crimes as quickly as possible, hopefully by the end of the day. Because of officer safety, officers are still out in the field. We're not releasing those names at the present moment, but we'll get that to you as quickly as possible. As of 12:30, we had reports that there were 15 of those 30 who'd already been arrested and in custody. That's half of our targets. That's fantastic, and it shows the dedication of these particular officers. These 30 individuals have been recently indicted by the multi-jurisdictional grand jury in cases that were presented to the jury by my office from charges that were made by the task force. In over 35 indictments charging numerous drug-related offenses, including the distribution, possession, and manufacturing of illegal narcotics. The charges include distribution of methamphetamine, with over half, actually more than half, 25 of the 35 indictments being methamphetamine related. The distribution of buprenorphine, distribution of oxycodone, distribution of synthetic drugs, of synthetic drug analogs, conspiracies to distribute drugs, and distribution of narcotics within 1,000 feet of a school. We've charged, like I said, 25 counts of methamphetamine distribution. That's a Schedule II drug. Every one of these offenses alleged to have happened here in the town of Appalachia or in Big Stone Gap. The offenders reside in Appalachia or the town of Big Stone Gap. We know that these arrests will make an immediate impact in the safety and security of these communities, and we're happy for these efforts. The prosecutors in my office now will turn to the important task of prosecuting these individuals in these cases. The officers have worked hard doing their job, making the arrests and the charges. We will likewise work hard to make sure that justice is served in each and every case. As I conclude and then hand the podium over, I want to stress a few things. First, this operation itself couldn't have taken place without such an incredible team of law enforcement officials, making a difference in this community and across our entire region by tackling the tough cases, the tough places, and the tough crimes. By taking these offenders off the street, we will disrupt immediately the trade of drugs that's causing so much harm in this community. Second, it's important for the public to realize just how dangerous, just how bad methamphetamine and these drugs that are being arrested today, these drugs can be. The substances are highly addictive. As I've already said, highly dangerous. It's scary, the side effects. Serious medical problems, including heart attack, stroke, paranoia, hallucinations, even sudden death have occurred through just one use of these drugs. Over time, methamphetamine can destroy the wiring in the brain, can destroy the brain so that the individual is so addicted that they no longer have quote-unquote normal life functions without the drug. Now, Substances are so potent that just one use can change a person's life. The impact of meth is being felt by law enforcement and by our communities in another way, and that is that we have seen a drastic increase in the number of violent crimes that are directly related to meth addiction and use. Things such as shootings and stabbings and other acts of violence. Yet the offenders who are poisoning our communities with these dangerous drugs, rest assured, will not escape justice. Third, our efforts today are ongoing. We talk about action for the Appalachian region. We're always active. We're always working. These arrests are just the beginning. Here in Appalachia and in its neighboring communities, community watch programs are forming up left and right, and that has an enormous impact. When the good people of our region join together, rise up together, stand with law enforcement, join hands to protect our communities, and join with public safety officials, first responders, they report when something doesn't look right. They ask questions. They report information to law enforcement. They provide information to prosecutors. They take a stand against these crimes. Together, we can take our community back. And together, community watch programs, our town council here in Appalachia and Big Stone, our Board of Supervisors in Wise, and others are working to make sure that this action for our Appalachian region continues, and I rest assured, while I hold the seat as Commonwealth Attorney, it will continue every day.